We have 19 new cases who have tested positive for COVID-19 and one epidemiologic link case, giving us 20 new cases in the province today, bringing our total to 2,869 people who have COVID-19 in BC. Of that, 970 people are in the Vancouver Coastal Health Region, 1,504 are in the Fraser Health Region, 131 people are on the Vancouver Island Health Region, 199 people are in the Interior Health Region, and 65 people are in the Northern Health Region. We have no new healthcare outbreaks, and we continue to have 7 active outbreaks, 6 in long-term care and 1 acute care. We have an increase of 3 residents and 1 staff person in those healthcare outbreaks, bringing our total to 379 residents and 229 healthcare workers who've been affected. We also continue to monitor and support the 2 remaining community outbreaks, although no new cases have been reported in those today. We have 179 active cases in the province now, of whom 15 people are in hospital and 7 in critical care or ICU. Unfortunately, we've had an additional 2 people who have died from COVID-19 in the last day, both of whom were residents of long-term care, one in Fraser Health and one in Vancouver Coastal. And our condolences go to the families of these people, to their care providers, and to their communities. We have 2,517 people who are now fully recovered from COVID-19. So of the new cases announced today, 1 person was a teacher at a public school in the Fraser Health Region. All of the close contacts of that person have been notified by public health teams, and none of the students are exposed in that from that case. As you know, we anticipated and planned for this potential when we returned to some in-classroom teaching over the last month here in BC. And we've been monitoring the situation very closely along with all of the school districts and the Ministry of Education. And we've moved quickly when cases have been identified. And this, as you know, is our second that have been identified associated with a school. Today is, of course, as well, the last day of in-class learning for this school year, and students and teachers right across the province have really done an amazing job of adapting to a new way of learning that has been a trial by fire for everybody. It hasn't always been easy for everybody, particularly for students, for parents, for teachers, for administrators. And I really just want to commend everybody for persevering, for working together, to making in-class teaching in this past weeks, both possible and safe. And in-class learning is, we know, so important for some students. We've learned a lot, and those lessons will be applied as we prepare for the full return of school, however that will look like in September. And I know there's a group now who are taking the learnings from the last month to be able to come up with contingency plans for what school will look like for students across the board come the fall. To all of those students who are finishing the school year today, congratulations. You've made it through one of the most challenging years I'm sure any of us will ever remember. Have a wonderful summer, and remember to be safe. Yesterday as well, the Premier and I announced that we are ready to get underway with our transition, or to increase our transition into the next phase of our restart plan. This means more parts of our economy, such as the film industry, hotels, spas, can reopen with safety measures and precautions in place. Many businesses that have remained closed will also be reopening their offices as we transition in this phase. This has been a gradual increase, and I continue to believe that that is what we need to do. This is an exciting time in many ways because it has shown that we've been able to find our balance here in BC. Our balance of being able to increase our contacts measured and thoughtfully, as well as keeping our case numbers low and manageable. We know that as we have more contacts, as more stores, as more businesses, as more things open, as we travel more, we are going to have more cases. And what we need to do is make sure we have those measures in place that we can stop the transmission quickly and rapidly and make sure it's not spread to large numbers of people. We can take confidence in knowing we have established those clear foundations, and we've shown that over the last few months for a safe path ahead. These are the foundations that will carry us forward for the remainder of the summer, into next year, to the time where we have an effective treatment or vaccine for COVID-19. For all of us in BC, and perhaps for anybody visiting from another province, we need to continue to use our layers of protection, because that is what will keep us being able to manage in our society. So always staying home when we're ill, even if it's a mild illness. Our mantra of fewer faces and bigger spaces, small numbers of people, so that if we do inadvertently bring it into our circle, into our connections, we can manage those quickly and efficiently. Barriers like the plexiglass that we're seeing in many retail stores, in hotels, in restaurants, and one-way pathways that mean that we minimize those chances of having close contact over time. Making sure we continue to wash our hands regularly, cleaning more those high-touch environments to make sure that we reduce the risk of contacting the virus. Maintaining our safe physical distance, particularly from people who are outside our small circle, our bubble, is important. And using a non-medical mask when distancing is challenging are the things that we will need to continue to do. These are the foundations that will allow us to increase our social interactions and stay at that important balance that we have found here in BC. As we have been doing, we can all move at our own pace and based on our own risk and the risks of those we have in our families and our communities. Some individuals may choose to continue to limit their social interactions because of knowing that they have people in their social connections who are at risk of having severe illness from COVID-19. And some communities may decide that they are not yet ready to receive visitors. We need to be respectful of that. As we go through our day, it is important to be respectful of all of those around us. You have to do what is right for you, and what you do makes a difference. Makes a difference for your family, makes a difference for your community. Your decisions around where you go and who you may see have an impact. We are all connected, as we have seen, in ways that we probably never imagined before. And just as we have worked together to flatten our curve and find that balance, we must continue to stand by and support each other in the weeks and months ahead. So let's do our part by staying 100% committed to protecting our families, our communities, and our province. And let's do that as we have been, by being kind, be calm, and being safe.